League of Women Voters of Palo Alto is thrilled to launch our new program year in studio with Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. The format for today is a 1-hour conversation with questions submitted by members and participants in today's program. But the overarching theme is making our democracy work. Before we jump in, I want to thank Congresswoman Eshoo for her service to our district for over 25 years. I just learned that her office has responded to constituents 78,329 times through letters and emails back from questions we've asked. And she is just known as a boundary crosser and consistently receives high reviews in our district for her work. But I also just want to thank you for your longevity to really ethical and effective public service, which is what the League is about as well. So as you know, the League of Women Voters was started nearly a century ago after women got the right to vote. We cherish our work to empower citizens through education and civic engagement, and we're truly about making democracy work. And while many in the country are organizing and staying informed, politics still remains a spectator sport for many of us. What's top of mind for ways that we can work to fully engage and inspire our citizens to protect our fragile democracy?
Well, thank you, Megan and Aisha, for moderating. To the League of Women Voters, thank you. Thank you for what you do, the civic engagement, education, and strengthening the democratic process. And I think that today's gathering is really timely because our democracy needs to be strengthened. We all know that. The most often asked question of me is, what can I do? Since November. Since November. There are consequences to elections. And I spent a lot of time tossing and turning on that one. And earlier this year, I put together a forum, and we had 37 organizations that we invited. They tabled. It was in Palo Alto at a hotel. And there was real electricity that went through that meeting. Now, what I wanted to accomplish was A, to bring together all the organizations. B, so that organizations know who else is out there. We make the assumption that everyone knows everyone, but they really don't. And each organization has its own mission, but there's an overlap. And I think that what came out of that, and I'm going to do another one hopefully before the end of this year, is to have organizations partner with one another, because the more you have, the more effective you can be, because there's a commonality to it. There is, our community is really rich in organizations. Many organizations were born right after the election. So what really gives me a great deal of hope, always my constituents, number one. But number two, that there is a real effort across the country of civic engagement.
So
and this is, it's more than I've ever seen since I was first elected to the Board of Supervisors in 1982. So it's a very healthy thing that's going on in the country.
So one question, a lot of those groups are trying to get people to contact members of Congress on various topics. Do majority and minority leaders and people, I know you respond to us because I opened with that, but do other people care when people from Silicon Valley are calling on them?
The most effective contact for a member of Congress, any member of Congress, is from their own constituents. First of all, we don't have the capability to respond to people from Utah and Alabama and all of that. So let me give you a very good example, concrete example, and it was the American people, extraordinary, ordinary people that threw overboard the immoral healthcare legislation that was proposed. And how was that done? It was done by, again, extraordinary, ordinary people contacting their member of Congress. They went to their offices, they sat in, they went to town hall meetings, they even wore badges with their zip code to prove to the member of Congress that they were that member's constituent.
Yeah.
So that is the most eloquent statement.
Yeah.
When a member's constituents show up.
Okay.
Great.
Because they're the ones that they want the vote from.
Right.
No, it's so important to have the engagement of our civic groups, and many are here this afternoon, and it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much.
I'm delighted to be here. I'm excited.
I'm going to jump in right into the questions because I know that everybody wants to hear from you about a lot of issues that are top of mind for many of us here.